Welcome back to Tales from the Service Industry. I'm your host, I'm Bill. I'm here tonight with Liz.
Hi, team.
And Ms. B.
Hey, guys.
Thank you guys for listening to yet another episode of TFTSI. We figured to kind of throw it back. We've had a lot of guests on recently that we are so thankful for, and they've done an amazing job. But we figured to throw it back to the OG3.
OG3? I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
And kind of get back to our roots, just hanging out with the three of us.
And a bottle of red.
And a very nice bottle of red tonight. I brought a bottle out of my stash.
And to any new listeners that may have found us on TikTok, welcome. We hope you enjoy the pod. We're happy you're here.
Yeah, thank you for moving over from social media to a listening platform.
It's more than 10 seconds, but hopefully you enjoy.
It's a lot more than 10 seconds.
I don't know how many are in the seconds or in the TikToks.
The one that just went up was 40?
I was going to
39?
say a minute at most.
I just joined. Give me
It
a
was
break.
49.
Well, be ready to listen to us for, I don't know, 45 minutes, let's say, give or take.
At least. We'll cut off that. Anyway.
Well, wherever you're listening from, if you are an OG listener, like the OG3, or you're new, thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Welcome back.
Well, guys, I think since we're doing an OG episode, we're throwing it back to the three of us, we should start with my personal favorite segment.
Yeah, but I was also thinking that since it's the OG3,
Yeah.
and you just came off of a recent con,
Oh, yeah.
that this could just kind of morph into a Ms. B rants.
Okay.
I mean, it's been
I'll
a
deliver.
minute since the penguins were defiled.
That's true.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, now I have some different things being defiled.
And we would love to hear it.
Okay. So, as you guys know, I just came off a recent con weekend. I was expecting the craziness of these con goers. And my weekend was for sure crazy, but it was not the con goers.
No way.
Yes.
It was everybody else just staying at the hotel.
Yes. So I would say a good 80% of the hotel was people here for this convention, and the rest were people that had no idea it was going on.
Were they upset?
Some were, because like it was really hard to get into the hotel for parking because we're directly across from a convention center. So the entire place was taken up. We had valet in the driveway parking for this convention. It was almost impossible to get into the property. So we had people calling and yelling at us.
You do have a pretty narrow driveway, I will say.
It's yeah. I mean, it's large enough to be a hotel driveway, but
True.
But it had multiple lanes going and cones, and it was like there was like a whole system. But so yeah, we definitely just had some angry guests yelling in, being
For the
mad.
normal people just trying to get to the parking garage, they had a rough time.
And then, interestingly enough, the mix of people who like were my problem, the ones that we had to run around chasing the entire time were, you can bleep me out here, fucking little kids. And by little, I mean boys. They had to be like 10 years old, and they drove us forking nuts.
Welcome to my life in rec.
Oh my God. They were lacrosse. No, not lacrosse. With the stick. Hockey. With the stick. I'm doing the hand motion. They were hockey boys, and they had to be 10 years old, and their parents just sat downstairs in the bar and let these boys take over.
Yes.
And they're just running around, and they were up on one of the floors, like, and we had pilots sleeping, and they're running and screaming, and I'm getting called down at the desk, being yelled by pilots that are saying, so when I can't fly this plane, what's your name? So that way I can tell them Miss B is the reason that this plane's not taking off.
It's her fault.
And I'm like, I'm really sorry. I'll go up there and quiet them down. So I go up.
Wait, do you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
Just a side note from Liz's past life. So I was telling a friend like what we were kind of recording about tonight in your recent con weekend. And I was telling him like, yeah, don't you remember, like, we're pretty familiar with like convention hotels because I used to do a sport at a very young age. So we spent a lot of weekends in different convention hotels. And they were like, yeah, that used to be us just being like absolute jerks ramping through the hotel. So when you said 10-year-old boys, that was literally.
That was you. You were that 10-year-old boy.
I was.
Oh my God.
So me and like 30 of my teammates would just be running rampant in these hotels. And our parents were at the bar.
Forking hated you guys. But
I'm really
literally,
sorry.
no, it was horrible. And like Saturday night, I finally get out of there after a really long day at the con, and I was security in the lobby. We'll get back to that.
Badass.
We'll get back to that. But I finally get home. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm exhausted, and I start getting text. And one of my associates is like, hey, you might want to call the security on the shift. And I was like, why? She's like, I'm at the grocery store and I could see kids hanging off the side of the building. She's like, it looks like they're on the 11th floor by the emergency stairwell.
Wait.
And they're hanging off.
This was an associate off the clock.
Yeah, at the grocery store
Saying
in downtown.
Like, I'm just at the grocery store, but I'm seeing these children hang over the side of
She
the
proceeds
building.
to send me a picture and they're sitting on this ledge. And I'm like, ah! And so I'm like calling security from home, being like, go to the 11th floor by the pool. And he's running up and he like runs up and he's like telling them to get down. And then they run away. And then he's trying to find them. And then my associates text me, but she's like, now they're on the 7th floor and they're throwing stuff from the fire stairwell on the other side. So they were throwing rocks in the other direction towards the parking structure. And my security guard just running around like a nut trying to find and corral these kids and texting me being like, can I kick them out? I'm done with this. I've told their parents. And I'm like, go talk to the manager on duty. But
there were plenty of times
nightmare.
we were banished like to our room.
The parents just didn't care. Like I went down there at one point when they were bugging the pilots and was talked to a dad. It was really cool. I was like, hey, look, like we have a pilot across the hall from you guys. He's going to fly a plane tonight. He has to sleep. Can you please calm the kids down? He's like, yeah, of course. And we,
they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Kick 'em out.
Yeah. It was terrible. But funny enough, the con people, I will say, were so nice, so respectful. And they were just a bunch of nerds in costumes.
It's very different from your last con.
So different. So different from my last rave. And they almost everybody dressed up. The costumes were amazing.
Okay,
and
those cons, they do
it was
go all out.
Incredible. And I was like taking pictures with people in these awesome costumes. And it was the coolest people watching experience. And then you get these snippets of having to deal with everybody else. And then you're like, wow, can we just have convention people here all the time? So
you want that?
they were way better than everybody else.
You're going to put that in the universe?
Yes, I would love nerd conventions.
Miss B would like to get rid of all sports and all athletes staying in her
100%.
hotel.
No, children.
I'm glad you
Children.
I'm glad you specified that specific type of con.
Yeah. Not all conventions.
Well, no, I mean, you could probably get the furries to come
I was
back.
about to say no furry conventions up in here. I mean, some of these people looked like they might have been furries, but they didn't, there was definitely a wolf in the lobby. Definitely.
wolf?
Yeah. Full, huge wolf costume. And all these things are homemade, looked amazing.
They've been working on them for weeks, if not months.
Yeah, it was incredible.
hand making probably every single piece of those costumes.
Oh, 100%. But okay, so it was going to be my A-hole of the week, but it's actually Miss B's B of the week.
Ooh, love it.
This woman is so under my skin, so deep. I'm so lividly, unbelievably pissed that this kind of human exists. Like, she got up in there under my skin. So this woman, I'll say, so there was comments on her reservation that her last stay was not good. So she was coming back and was hoping for a better stay. We get those sometimes, like something bad happened your last day, may have been beyond our control, or maybe we messed up and we try to make up for it. So she was given a suite and we were doing our best to give her a better experience. I didn't hear anything from her check-in. Meaning it was smooth. I guess she got her keys and went up to her room.
Was she a rewards member?
Oh, yes, she was.
Like, how high on the status?
Second tier from the bottom.
Okay.
Low. Okay.
So for us, like normal folk that doesn't really know the lingo, how often do you have to like stay in hotels?
Less than 10 days a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Low.
Thank you.
So
like with most rewards programs, you have your enrollment level.
Mm-hmm.
Basic.
Yeah, it's like you've just enrolled.
Yeah.
It takes 10 stays or so to get to the first
like real level.
You stay
recognized
10
tier.
days. Yeah. That's
okay.
Second from but it's essentially the
That's
first tier.
5 weekend trips.
Yeah. So this human checks into the hotel, goes up to her room, and promptly comes down with a million things. And she was nitpicking just every little flippin' thing.
There was a speck of dust.
Yeah, the room was too dusty. It was bothering her allergies. Like,
oh my
just
God.
Every little thing. We're like, okay, would you like to change rooms? No. And then, okay. So then she proceeds to, I guess, try to be nice with the front desk agent and was like, well, I'm interested in breakfast. So she tells her the hours. And then she's like, well, I'm not going to remember that. You need to write it down.
Couldn't this be like, I don't know, in your app?
It's all there.
Like,
it's all there.
For the hotel. Your rewards app for your second from the bottom.
Yep. So the front desk agent, super sweet, young girl, young 20s, college student, you know, she very sweetly writes out the hours. She does breakfast, these hours, evening reception, these hours. And then she gives it to her. And the lady looks at it and says, you spelled breakfast wrong.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
To which my agent replied, I'm so sorry. And she's like, how can you spell breakfast wrong? She's like, don't you have to know how to spell in like your second grade education? Do you have a second grade education level?
She said that to an agent?
She literally was like, did you even graduate second grade? And then proceeded to and you spelled this wrong. I don't remember what the other word was, but it was some other like, you know, dumb little word. To which the agent then just started getting choked up.
Aww.
And went to the back and grabbed the manager. And the manager came out and spoke with her. What kind of staff are you hiring here? Shouldn't it be like, it doesn't hire people with at least with a high school education level? Like, this is way below your standards. And my manager was like, ma'am, like, I really don't appreciate you speaking about her like that. Our hotel brand, we don't believe, you know, in discriminating. We hire all groups of people. Everyone is a high school graduate, but, you know, some may be still pursuing careers and some maybe not, but we don't discriminate based on that. And I don't appreciate you, you know, saying that about my agent. She's
but
like,
someone in their 20s could hypothetically have close to 5 years of hospitality experience. What if they've been, you know, on the phones or a front desk agent for 5 years?
Yeah. And this girl's the sweetest girl. Like, I felt so bad. This lady is interrogating my manager on our hiring practices and the type of education level we accept for our associates. And my manager was just, you know, trying to be like, look, some people may have English as a second language, but it doesn't mean they're not intelligent. And it doesn't mean they can't do the job. And she's like, well, you shouldn't be hiring people like that. She's like, anyways, is there anything else I can help you with? Trying to like move her along. And the lady's like, no. But she demanded like more things. My manager did it. The lady was off on her way. It was in the pass on just how horrible she was. So I come in the next morning. I come in at 7 a.m. and my night auditor is pissed the hell off.
About this lady?
He's pissed. And I'm like, what's wrong, dude? Like, why are you upset? He's like, I just got the room service order from hell. And I was like, tell me about it. How do you get a room service order from hell? And he shows me this paper. It's like a page long and it's one person's order. And I was like, what? He's like, she just asked a million questions. And I'm like, well, what kind of questions? And he started giving me some examples. He's like, okay, she wanted to order the bowl of fruit. And then she asked me, is it a bowl of fruit or a cup of fruit? How many pieces of fruit? How many ounces of fruit? What types of fruit? How are the fruits cut? And he's like, I don't know. I'll have to call the kitchen. And then he moved on to the bread and asked a million different kind of questions about the bread. And then I can't remember all the entrees, but like little questions like that, you know, like asking about ounces and portions and sizes. And he's like, I don't know. It is like 6:30 in the morning. And he kept trying to call the kitchen. They're not answering. And he's like, ma'am, I can put this order in for you. If you'd like to come down and speak with the kitchen, you're more than welcome to. But all I can do is hit the button and I can ring it up. And she's like, well, you're entirely unhelpful.
But I'm sorry, how the fruit is cut, really?
How the fruit is cut, how many ounces, how many pieces, what type, is it in season? Is it, where do you source it from? She was asking all these questions. And he was just like, this has to be a joke. I'm being punked. And so he was all irritated. It took him he said it took me 20 minutes to ring this order in, put all the preferences and crazy stuff she had. And at the end, it's a part of our script. We asked what kind of condiments you would like with it. Just salt and pepper. I'm good. Okay. The room service person brings it up. She opens her door and the room service girl rolls it in and she's like, where's the honey?
Oh,
and the room service attendant says, I'm sorry, I don't see a request on here for honey. I shouldn't have to request it. It should be automatic. I see that I got toast. She's like, you put jam there. So why isn't there honey? And she's like, I'm sorry, that is not a part of an automatic thing that goes on there. I can go down and get you honey. She's like, that's beyond the point. You should know how to use your job. What level of education do you have? Did you at least graduate high school? Because I feel like you should at least know that. And insulted a second person's education level. To which the room service was like, lady, I will go get you your honey. And she kept talking at her. She turned around, left, got the honey, and then
I would leave it at the door and
she
knock.
did. She left it at the door. Oh yeah, and then she called down because the room service just turned around and left after she was being insulted like that and spoke to the night auditor again.
Called and complained about it.
Called and complained, but this time said there was no spoon. And he said, ma'am, you didn't order anything that requires a spoon. She's like, again, I'm going back to education on this. Isn't this day one learning that you put a spoon on every tray? Like just ripping every little thing. And he's just like, I will send you up a spoon. And she's like, fine, you do that. And I also want my bill ready at the desk. And And he said, you got it. And he's just fuming. And he calls room service and is like, she wants a spoon. And she's like, you gotta be kidding me. And he's like, yeah. And can you send up her bill? Because I don't want to deal with her when she comes down to the desk. So he puts her bill in an envelope and sends it up with a spoon. The room service attendant knocks, gives her the spoon and the bill, to which she huffs and turns and shuts the door. And by the way, I'm not getting everything. I wasn't a part of every interaction, but every single person she talked to, she made them feel terrible. She was demeaning. She insulted their education level. She did everything possible to be the worst human on the planet. I had an associate, again, this is during con weekend. She's in the lobby and she's asking how to use her parking key. My associate went to get her card to like show her because you have to hold it a certain way. And she yanked it back. She's like, you don't need to touch it. And my associate's like, okay, sorry, I was just trying to show you how to use it. But yeah, you have to hold it back. And like, she was just aggressive and hostile with every single person she interacted with. So Sunday, I'm hearing all these stories how she made my front desk agent cry in the back office. And I was like, I am so ready for her to come down. Let's do this. And I told my GM, I said, when she comes down, she's going to have a word from me. I'm so excited. I'm going to give it to her. And I said, I'm going to kick her out and she's not coming back. My GM's like, okay, you do you. And I was like, oh, I was ready. Like I was stretching, shadow boxing in the back office.
You were ready for a fight.
Oh, I was ready.
Final words.
Ready. And guess what?
What? She didn't come.
No, she put out because I was ready.
All that preparation.
Yes.
All that workup. Did you work up a sweat in that
Oh,
moment?
yes. I like had a mental dialogue going and the things I was going to say. And I'm like, how dare you? And all this stuff.
She just left. She was embarrassed.
No. You think people like that are embarrassed? No.
I don't know.
No, but you know what? I will bet you a bottle of wine that when she fills out her survey, she's going to misuse there, and there.
Probably.
She probably would, except for the fact she didn't wait till then. The next day, which was today, because she checked out yesterday, I got a complaint from her from corporate.
So she filed a formal.
Yes, with our hotel company. Would you like me to read some of it?
Ooh.
We have receipts?
Would I?
Yes. Don't worry, guys. I brought it for you. This isn't her writing it. This is the associate with the company saying what she is saying.
Okay.
Already spoke to management regarding her concerns. That's how it starts. So
Is that truly valid?
it means that we already handled it and she just feels like complaining some more.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Member thought her room was on the lounge level and was looking forward to the night snacks and breakfast. She didn't book lounge level. We upgraded her to a suite. Still, as a second tier member, you don't get access to.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a higher level benefit.
Member asked for a paper copy of her receipt to be put under the door. She asked the front desk about the receipt and they put it on her breakfast tray. So she got the receipt where she requested. Not in the manner she requested it. Member's room key did not work at the parking garage. The parking lot staff told her this was a common issue and let her out. So this was the associate that was trying to, be empathetic and say, oh, I'm so sorry. This happens sometimes. Let me show you how to use it. So she was using empathy, trying to, say, yeah, it's not just you, but no, it was you, lady. And then she wouldn't let her touch the key and freaked out. Guest also states at the front desk, they had problems with English and spelling. She feels this could be a security issue. Was told even if the lounge was open, she would still receive free breakfast. Also, did not receive the proper utensils to eat. Also, place food order, they didn't put info in how many pieces of bacon will be in the order. So she said, I just want to circle back to that. She felt the front desk agent had problems with English and spelling and felt that could be a security concern.
How is that a security concern?
Because the agent hand wrote out and misspelled the word breakfast.
Correct. So she must have problems with English. She only knows English.
Oh.
She does not know Spanish or any other language.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Just all of it is irrelevant.
It's all crazy.
It's just contrived BS.
Yeah.
Let's see her spell the word contrived.
Oh, I guarantee she couldn't.
Excuse me, miss. Is it I before E except after C?
I couldn't spell it.
But this witch continued to add things and would call back and say more stuff. But all of it was like crazy. Like, they didn't give you the proper utensils. You got all the utensils. You want an additional spoon, despite the fact none of your food involved spoon. She ordered like toast and fruit. And so we brought up a spoon right away.
And bacon, apparently.
Yes, and bacon.
You wanted a spoon for your bacon?
And yeah, but I don't think he knew how many ounces was in it. So
how many ounces of bacon is in each slice?
But so this person,
Yes, I insist that the slices of bacon be trimmed to exactly the same length. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
where did the pig come from? Where was it raised? What did it eat?
Was it an American pig?
Did the pig only speak English and could it spell?
Did the pig take away American jobs?
I feel the feeling she would have said all of those things. But
If given the opportunity, yes.
So I got all of these complaints. I was so angry. I stormed into my GM's office because I frequently do that. I'm an emotional human being. I storm into her office. I was like, "What's up, Miss B? This woman." She's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "You remember this person from the pass-ons, the one that was mean to everybody?" "Yeah, I do." And I told her what she'd said about the agent having problems with English and spelling. And she's like, "Doesn't she only speak English?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I asked my general manager, I was like, "I'm not giving her anything, no matter how much corporate keeps pushing. She doesn't get a dime." She's like, "I agree with that." And I said, "Can I write her an email and ban her from the property?" She's like, "Why don't you send me that email?"
Let me proofread that.
And she said, and then yes. I'm like, "Yes." But so, yeah, I wrote an email that was very aggressive, but got to the point. And then I had someone help me edit it to make it less aggressive, but still to the point.
Did you intentionally misspell words?
Oh, I should have.
I totally
should have.
would have.
I didn't think of that, but I haven't sent it
Totally
yet.
would've.
I'm still waiting for all the final approvals.
Replace every C with a K.
I'm going to spell breakfast wrong. Because
Yes.
by the way, I used that example in the email and I said, during one altercation, this is what you said. This is, what happened. I should have spelled breakfast wrong.
You should have.
You need to.
Oh, I'm going to.
That is top level passive aggressiveness
Oh,
right there.
Top
Love
tier.
it.
Top tier.
Man.
Ugh,
See, that
I'm
was
sorry.
She was horrible.
Well, I feel bad for your associates. I hope they're not, I don't know.
She only made one cry. The rest she made want to punch walls. But I told
That's
her.
still horrible.
Do you have any
Yeah.
idea how the associate misspelled breakfast?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I was going to say,
don't.
you need to do it the same way.
Yeah, you need
In the
to ask
email.
her how she misspelled it.
Okay.
To specifically misspell
I'm
it.
going to tell my boss that tomorrow. I'm like, can I do this? She's going to be like, yeah, do it. Do it.
No, don't ask. Look,
But it's,
Ooh, is this my motto? Ask for forgiveness.
this is a forgiveness, not permission.
okay. I'm going to do it.
That is one of my life mottos, to be honest.
All right. You want the
You
next
have,
rant?
you have like 3 that you like routinely throw out.
That's like the second one I can think of. What's the third?
The foot.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
not okay. That's like
A foot
not
for
a
everybody.
life motto. That's just a mindset motto. I
I think
guess
that's your motto.
it is on this podcast.
a foot, we don't kink shame and ask for forgiveness, not permission.
No, you're missing the best one.
It's a good day to have a great day.
Ding ding ding.
Miss B for the win.
I was thinking that might be a tattoo pretty soon.
Oh, that's a good one. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit. And this one, it was just kind of crazy and a little sad. But then I have some more stories that will lift us up a little bit. So I had a guest whose departure date was Sunday. Okay, halfway through the stay, food and beverage supervisor comes up to me in the back and is like, "Miss B." I'm like, "What?" She said, "You need to do something about 323. I'm like, "What's wrong with 323? She's like, "It smells so bad." I'm like, "Oh, that's weird. Like, what does it smell like?" And she said, "Shit."
Oh,
And I said, "But like, what kind of shit? Like,
like
What do you
does
mean
it just
shit?
smell bad, or does it literally smell like poop?
Exactly." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "No, like literal human feces." And I said, oh my. She's like, "Yes." And she's like, "And worse." So I go up there to deliver the room service order. I knock. He said, "Come in," because he's not able to get up. And I go in, and the man is in a wheelchair. And, I
Okay.
look up the guest. Okay, he's in a handicapped accessible room. He's handicapped. Makes sense. She's like, so I roll the cart in. She's like, there's poop all over the ground.
Oh no.
But it's been rolled over by a wheelchair. The wave just hits you as soon as you walk in the door. She's like, I thought I was going to throw up. I had to get out of there as fast as I could. She's like, I felt like it was on my shoes. And I was like, oh my God. And so she apparently just left the cart and like ran. So I call my housekeeping supervisor, who's got like balls of steel. She's amazing. I was like, okay, we're going to go up to this room. She's like, let's do it. And so Em and I go up to the room.
Does this housekeeping supervisor know what she's getting into?
Oh, I told her.
And she's like, yeah, let's go.
Lots
Okay.
of housekeeping supervisors like are just the OGs of that hotel. She's been at this hotel probably since before it was the brand. So she's like, oh, I guarantee I've seen worse. She's seen it all. So we go up there, we knock, and he's like, come in. And we're like, no. Like
Like, you got to come to the door.
We're like, are you able to come to the door and open it? And he's like, no. So I'm like, are you opening it? I'm opening it. And she's like, so she opens it because I'm scared. And we like prop it open and we're like, sir, are you decent? He's like, I just got out of the shower. And I was like, okay, well, we are required to do a wellness check to check on you, make sure you're okay. And I said, so would you like us to do it now or would you like just come back in a little bit? And he's like, can you come back in like 10 minutes? I just got out of the shower. Let me, finish getting dressed. And we're like, okay, we will be back in 10 minutes. We go down to the front office. We wait 15 for good measure. We go back up there and we knock and he's like, come in. And we're like, oh my God. Like at this point, we're not going to. I was like, just open it.
Go through the rigmarole again.
Exactly. So she opens it. The floor is soaking wet. Like, it looks like he might have showered and the wheelchair marks are he's sitting in front of the TV in the wheelchair facing towards us, towards the door. And by the way, completely undressed. He's just wet now with a towel over his nether regions.
So he did not get dressed?
No, I think maybe he knew we were coming in to inspect and tried to tidy a little bit and maybe turn on the shower and try to get some stuff down the drain. I don't know exactly. But so we walk in and we're kind of like looking around. We're like, okay, we have to inspect the room. And we look towards the bathroom. You can still see, in the grout and stuff that it's not clean. And then he didn't do a great job because in the hallway, you can still see little bits and pieces. And we're like, okay. We walk further into the room, to the bedroom, and again, he's just sitting there staring at us. And we look towards the bed, and one of the beds is just covered.
Oh, no.
In bad bowel movements, pee, and the whole room's a disaster. It smells horrible. I'm going to throw up. And I look at him, and honestly, it's very rare for me to be at a loss of words.
Can confirm.
And it smelled so bad, I felt nauseous. I said, sir, the bed? And before I say anything else, he's like, yeah, just charge me for the sheets. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I wasn't feeling well. I couldn't make it to the bathroom in time. I'm in a wheelchair. Like, I just couldn't make it. But he, seemed genuine and like kind of sad. So it was a sad situation. I just couldn't figure out how to scold someone for what they can't help.
Yeah.
It's not about scolding. I think in fairness, in a situation like this, compassion is absolutely needed. Nobody in that room wanted to be in that room having that conversation at that moment.
Yeah.
But if that's what you're coping with, a hotel is not the facility for you.
No, he needs to be in a hospital. Mm-hmm. And
I'm not sure what the right facility is, but I know exactly what the wrong facility is, and that was that hotel.
Yeah. There was no caretaker there. He was just alone. I was concerned. I was confused. And I was like, okay, we're going to charge you for the sheets. And I said, and sir, the room really smells like cigarette smoke. Have you been smoking in here? And he's like, yes, I have. And I was like, you can't smoke in here. It's a non-smoking hotel. And he's like, I didn't know that. And I was like, sir, it's posted everywhere. I said, I'm going to have to charge you for the smoking too. And he's like, okay, yeah, charge me. And I said, but if it continues, we will ask you to leave. I said, do you wish to stay at this hotel? And he's like, yes, I do. And I said, okay, you have to stop smoking. And then my housekeeping supervisor stepped in and she's like, and look, we have to clean the room. She's like, we can't just let it go a week without cleaning it. So he's like, can we get in here today? And he's like, no, how about tomorrow? And she's like, okay, what time? And, they agreed upon a time. She's like, we have to get in here.
Personally, it would have been a hard no. Because, that's a health hazard.
Yeah, no, I completely
agree.
him
and your associates.
Yep.
All that has to go.
I was surprised she said that, but
I would have said you have to clean it today.
Yeah.
We'll give you like an hour, collect your things. We need to clean it today.
The thing is, to me, she said that. I didn't know if we were going to ask the guest to leave. So I didn't push on that.
Yeah.
I went straight down to my computer, emailed the general manager and was like, this is the situation. This is what we saw. Ball's in your court. What do we do? Do I ask him to leave? Because I really did feel bad, but I was like, we're not the place for this guy. We're either going to deal with this problem today or we're going to deal with it 3 days from now.
That's going to be worse.
Yeah.
I didn't see it getting better.
I also think where this guest went wrong is not asking for help when the situation occurred.
I don't think he was in his right mental capacity. I'll get to that. So I go down to the front desk and I start asking more questions. I'm like, when did this guy check in? And they're like, oh, checked in on Sunday. And I was like, did he check in by himself? They're like, no, he checked in with another person. There's another name on this room. So the next day, my GM ended up saying, you know what? Let's not kick him out, but charge him for the sheets, charge him for the smoke. But if it happens again, then we can remove him because he's done something wrong. So then comes the con. So that was on Wednesday.
Oh, the convention. I was like, the con of the situation.
Yeah, right. Then comes the con. So it's Saturday. We are popping. We are slammed. I am security in the lobby. Stuff is moving. Those
Such
doors.
a badass.
It was wild. And, I'm just yelling at people in the lobby, telling them, you can't sit there. Why are you bringing Chipotle in here? No outside food.
Did you love that?
Around.
No outside food?
Yeah, people were bringing outside food and sitting in our restaurant.
Oh.
That's not allowed. I did it so much. I started to get crafty with it. So I would carry menus with me and I'd go up to tables and be like, hi guys, are you going to be dining with us today? And I said, well, here are the menus. We've got a great burger, this and that. What can I get you guys started? And they're like, oh, we don't want to eat here. It's like, oh, but you're sitting in our restaurant.
Like these aren't just,
I started to get kind of like, with it.
Brilliant.
So then I also became a cocktail waitress because then sometimes they'd be like, you know what, we will eat here. And they were giving me their orders. And I was running over to the bar. I'm like, can you get me some wings started? And I need a Malibu sunrise and this. And I'm like helping run orders. So
that sounds good.
Yeah. Can I get the guilt burger with the side of shame, please?
Yeah. But I turned at least 4 or 5 tables from people who were just sitting to ordering and actually ordered full meals. So I was like, I get commission on this, right? Anyway, so I'm doing this. So the lobby is my kingdom. I'm kicking people out. I'm turning things over to orders. And then all of a sudden you get hit with a wave of shit. You're just like, what is that smell?
That sequence of words needs to change. I'm sorry.
You got hit in the face with a wave of shit. And you just smell it.
Your nostrils, not your actual face.
I swear, it felt like it hit me like a brick in the face. Like it came out of nowhere.
It came out of somewhere.
To the face.
Right? I turn and I see this man in a wheelchair struggling to wheel himself. He has no shoes on. He's not wearing a shirt. Pants kind of on, and part of it's getting stuck in the wheel. And I'm just kind of, my face is like, why is he down here? And he rolls over to the front desk and he's angry and he's like, I want to extend. And they're like, I'm sorry, sir, we can't extend to you. The room is booked. And it's ridiculous. And he's wheeling himself away. And everyone in the lobby is just like staring. And it's a very busy convention Saturday. And it just smells so bad. My front desk agent is like gagging at the desk. And he goes to the elevator. I go to the elevator. I had some people that needed to get up to a certain floor. And I get them up and I turn around and he's coming back out. And he's madly cursing. And I'm like, sir, how can I help you? And he's like, my key's not working. And I was like, let me help you. And he's like, well, I need to go to the desk. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll let you into your room. And so I hold the elevator open for him. He gets in and I was like, I'll take you up to your room. And so I go into the elevator and like other guests go to come into the elevator. And I just look at them and I was like, I shake my head with eyes that's don't do it. And my hands like this, like giving the wait symbol. I'm like, wait. I say, don't do it. Even though it was like everyone was trying to get in the elevator, I'm like, just, it's not worth it.
I mean, busy con weekend. I'm sure if they had a break in activities or whatever.
Yeah. So I helped get him up to his floor and it was the longest elevator ride of my life. I felt like I was going to be sick. Get him out. I get him to his room. I let him in. And it was just, I was gagging and I'm like, this is bad. This is bad. This guy's checking out tomorrow. It's going to be a nightmare. And I'm like, oh my God, my head.
When you let him back into the room, did you like sneak a peek at the state of the room at all?
No, I couldn't breathe. Like I thought I was going to throw up. I ran away as fast as I could.
Okay.
By now, Saturday, busy convention day, right? Hotel sold out. The entire floor smells like poop.
Did you get any other complaints from other rooms?
Oh yeah. Housekeeping was having to do laps down. Like they would spray Lysol and sprays like every hour trying to, because we couldn't relocate people. We were sold out. So Sunday rolls around. I'm working Sunday morning and I know this is my problem. And so in stand up with the other managers, I'm like, guys, we all know our favorite room. He's checking out today. And I was like, I'm really excited about that. And my director of finance was working that day. She's like, do you know how he's going to leave? And I say, interestingly enough, his caretaker, quote unquote, came to the front desk that morning and said, yeah, I'm out. He's your guys' problem now. And he's probably going to need help getting out of the room. I'm done. And leaves. And so we're like, oh my God, this is bad. And I told that to my director of finance. I'm like, I can't wheel this guy out.
Nor should you.
I was like, I'm not trained in that.
Exactly.
And she said, call PD.
Yeah.
Call PD right now. And I was like, well, I don't know all that. She's like, no, call PD now. Get in front of it. Tell them that you need a wellness check done. This person is not capable of taking care of themselves and you're concerned for their well-being.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I called non-emergency PD and they're like, do you need fire, medical, police? And I was like, I believe I need medical. She's like, can you tell me what's going on? I tell her everything. I told her how this guy left this morning, who I believe to be his caretaker, said he's your guys' problem now. I tell her about all the poop in the room. And I was like, I've tried calling twice. He's not answering. I'm worried for his well-being. And I also don't think he's able to take care of himself. His checkout date's to date. He's not able to extend because we actually have a company coming in to deep clean that room. And I need assistance in making sure he's okay. I'm concerned for his well-being. They're like, okay, we'll send paramedics out. Paramedics are there in like 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So they come in and they're like...
And then you're just escorting them up to a room that smells like poop.
Pretty much. So they come to the lobby. I come out and meet them. And they're like, hi, are you Miss B? I'm like, yep, that's me. And this guy looks at me and he's like, so what are we walking into? And I'm like, it's really bad. And I tell them the backstory. I tell them, this guy left this morning. I think he was his caretaker and he said he's going to need help and that he's not doing it. And I said, I've tried calling. No one's answering. I was like, I honestly don't think this guy's okay. And they're like, all right, let's do this. And so we're all in the elevator going up. And the moment the elevator doors open, you could smell it. And one of the guys was like, oh, shit, you could smell it from here. And like said that out loud in the hallway. Was like, duh. And the guy's like, this is going to suck. Glad you worked this holiday. And they're all laughing. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like a frat house right now. And so we go up to the door and they're like, all right, let's do this. And so we knock and they're like, fire department. And we didn't even have to like open the lock. The door was ajar. He left it open. So they're like, I guess we're going in. They go in and I did not go in. It smelled so bad. I could not. I'm in the hallway. I was like, I'll be out here if you need me. And they go in and you hear them like talking to the guy and they're like, hey, and what's going on? How are you feeling? And they kept trying to wake him up. They're like, you gotta wake up.
Oh, he's asleep?
You gotta stay awake. And he's like, this is not good. And they're like, all right, take his vitals here. And they're like, your stats are way too low.
I wonder what this guy has been eating.
Room service.
But it doesn't sound like he's like left the room very much. He's been ordering food to the room.
Room service. So they were taking it in the room the first few days, but then it smelled so bad they started leaving it outside the door.
Yeah.
And the paramedics were like, look, your checkout date's today. The hotel is not extending you. And he said there's two ways this is going to go. One, you come with us to the hospital now and get checked out. Option two, you refuse to come. We call PD. They are going to say you have no choice. You get put on a hold and you're stuck in the hospital for 3 days against your will. Which one it's going to be?
You always take option A.
To which he chose again. Well,
hidden option C?
Yes.
What
but
was
it
that?
turned into B. To which he just kept yelling, never, you won't take me. And, just refusing to be compliant. Kept going back into bed. Fire guy comes out to talk to me. And he's like, okay, here's the deal. He's refusing to go. He's like, that man is absolutely gravely disabled. And he said, but we can't make that call. PD has to make it.
Yeah.
He's like, if we take him, we get down for kidnapping. He told me that. He's like, if we take him, we go down for kidnapping. So he's like, so we've already called PD. PD's going to come in. Hopefully they agree with our assessment. And then he gets put on a hold and taken out of here. Okay, great.
You're talking a 72-hour psych hold.
Interestingly enough, it wasn't psych. They said he was on a hold for gravely disabled because he's a danger to himself because he can't take care of himself.
Okay.
So the paramedics stay in the room with him. I don't know how they breathed, but I go down to the lobby.
I'm sure they had masks on.
No, they didn't.
Whoa.
They did not. I go down to the lobby to wait for the cops. Cops come, I show them up, and they were in there. I don't even think they were in there 5 minutes. And they were like gravely disabled. And he was put on a stretcher, taken out of the hotel. You think problem solved, right?
No, probably not.
No, of course not.
How do you know, Bill? What do you think the next problem was?
I'm not sure, but I just know
that
there is more coming along.
Ding, 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 ding. So now we're like, okay, he's gone. Because I ran out and asked the cops, like, what do we do with the things in the room? She's like, throw it out. I was like, okay. She's like, I mean, if you want to, you can lost and found it. I was like, okay.
Well, the PD is not going to take responsibility for any of those things. That's on you.
So I didn't touch anything. I went up there, took some photos, and it just looked like clothes from what I could see, like some clothes, and there was a wheelchair in there between the bed. And then it looked like some stuff and just cigarettes and grossness. And I was like, nothing of value. It looks like there's nothing of value to me.
Because I'm sure they, I don't know, made sure he took his ID.
I don't know. Like, I didn't see that, but I don't even know if he had one. I don't know. So this morning I was catching up with the chief.
The chief at the fire department or your chief engineer?
Engineer. And because, by the way, everyone that dealt with that room was leadership. Remember I told you the room was clean? The supervisor did it. No one will touch this room. So the chief is in there and he's like, what are we going to do with the wheelchair? I was like, I don't know, like take it out back and hose it down. Like I assume those things are expensive, but I don't know what to do with it. And the chief was like, yeah, so I went to get the wheelchair. And he's like, what I didn't realize was that there was a bucket underneath it.
Oh, God.
Because he wasn't going to the bathroom very far away from his bed.
He was using the bucket under the wheelchair.
And he didn't realize that. And he moved the wheelchair and
It
the
fell.
potty went everywhere.
Yeah, his version of the potty.
And I nearly like threw up. And he's like, I couldn't. I'm like literally gagging like right now. And basically everything got thrown away.
Including the wheelchair.
Everything. My chief said nothing was salvageable.
No.
He's like, I could have ran a hose on the thing, sanitized it. He's like, it was embedded in the wheels. It was embedded in the chair. He's like, it was everywhere. I used gloves. I used hazmat. I used everything. He's like, I still feel like it's on me and I need to go shower right now. And he actually got a room to go shower because it was so bad.
Too.
I wonder if it was already partially in that state when the guest checked in.
Who knows?
You know?
I was told he smelled bad checking in.
So it could have been an ongoing issue.
Yeah, it would have been fair to assume that very thing. If his caregiver gave him the level of care of, he's your problem, deuces, there were issues upon arrival.
Yeah.
Like we were wondering, did they just like drop him off there to like die or something? Because he was planning on extending his stay.
Oh my gosh.
And the thing is, that was weird. His card kept going through. Do you know how many times we charged him for damage? And because by the way, mattress gone,
Oh, for sure.
sheets gone, rugs gone, everything that couldn't be like wasn't a hard surface gone. He was charged for everything. Every charge
carpet?
went through. Well, it was wood floors, but there was like a rug
Oh, okay.
gone. But yeah, that was probably one of like the saddest, grossest moments. And I hate to be like that, but it's something real that we have to deal with. And people think, oh, front desk and this, you just smile at people, give them their keys, but we get berated by people. We have to deal with literal sometimes.
Yeah. And like I said a little bit into your story, I mean, the tragedy in all of this is it's not the facility for him.
Yeah.
He needs a level of care that's far above what a hotel can provide and what a hotel employee is trained to handle.
Absolutely. Like we're in no way equipped to deal with any of that. And
No. I don't know if you saw it over the weekend, but I posted a video of a room that I had to deal with. It was similar. I mean, well, it was similar in damages, but not circumstance.
Right.
So damages, yeah, it was the beds were done, the carpet was done.
Yeah.
I mean, he was dealing with some personal demons.
Oh, for sure.
Like we're talking full blown
And they were winning.
hardcore alcoholic level. Yes, and the demons were winning. So, the video I posted showed the amount of beer cans, which was impressive.
Yeah.
The guest either couldn't or chose not to get out of the bed, so just would urinate himself.
Yikes.
Through the mattress, through the box spring, into the carpet, to the concrete. I mean, the whole bay had to go.
Yeah.
And I posted that video, and it was disheartening the way people perceived it. It's like it didn't matter that I was saying repetitively, this is not a party. I mean, the entire post was about what we are faced with in our jobs that we are not trained for, that we are not equipped for.
Yeah.
And it was nothing about this guy did X, Y, or Z. It was about this is what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Far more often than people realize.
Yeah. And the vitriol of the comments was really disheartening, even though it was clearly not about a party. He was in the wrong facility with the wrong level of care.
Yeah.
But we did the same thing. It was just the leaders that cleaned the room. We didn't put that on our
No,
right
we
employees.
couldn't. And that's why, a lot of people like this, from crazy angry lady to this guy, I take that on from my team. I say, if she comes down, you get me. You don't deal with her, you get me. With this guy, I wanted to be the one to deal with him. I didn't want my staff to have to deal with him.
Oh, I tell my staff that all the time. I don't want you to be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy.
Yeah.
If you ever have a problem that arises that you don't feel comfortable with handling, call me.
I feel like
I'll do it.
That's what makes us leaders. Some
Yeah.
people who aren't like that just by nature, you're not a leader.
No.
Well, like I tell my team, I want you to say yes until you can't say yes.
For sure.
And then you get me and I will tell them no.
Absolutely.
I will carry that weight.
True that.
I will say, over the weekend, we did have a holiday weekend. I said yes when I shouldn't have.
Ooh, to what?
And my staff called me out on it so hard.
What did you say yes to?
I said yes to paddleboard and kayak rentals when I shouldn't have.
Wind?
No, it was later in the afternoon. We were busy as all heck. And, one member, come to find out, my employee told her no. And so she comes to me. Hey, can we just take, one kayak out? We're not going to go very far. It'll only be a couple minutes. And I'm like,
Couple minutes?
Sure. If you're not going far, absolutely. Trying to make sure they have a good holiday weekend, have a good experience.
Okay.
And, you know, then I tell my one employee, all right, one kayak, like that's it. And he got berated.
No.
So he does the one kayak, does what I told him to do, but I should have gone over and like supervised the situation. That's on me. He had like a dozen people come up to him. Well, can we have a paddleboard? Can we have a kayak? Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it?
Oh.
And he, in that moment, was like, I can't say no. Like, my boss just told this one lady yes.
Yep.
So he does it and, like, you know, accommodates all of these people. And he comes up to me and he goes, what were you freaking thinking? I go, what? It was just one kayak. And he was like, Liz,
You started a chain reaction.
look at how many rentals are not on the beach anymore. And I'm like, oh, damn. Like, all of our rentals are out. He was like, you should have said no. You made that mistake.
Oh.
Yeah. He called me out on my mistake, which is very fair.
Yeah.
And I profusely apologized to him. And I was like, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. You know, I'm sorry. I made the mistake. Next time, just like call me over, make me come with you. If you think it's going to be an issue, like have me deal with it. I don't want you to deal with it.
Oh.
And he dealt with it. I felt so bad.
Good for him for dealing with it. That sucks too. But why didn't you want rentals going out?
The water was busy and there were just a lot of children around and it posed a safety issue.
Got it.
You can't monitor when that many rentals are going out. You can't monitor. Are they 14? Are they wearing their life jacket? Do they have an adult with them? And it just kind of
Got it. Spirals out of control.
it spiraled.
Okay.
So when they all came back, I was like, I'll put the rentals away. I'll deal with the mess on the beach. So I cleaned up my own mess.
Respect.
Start good leadership.
Yeah.
Yep. You own up. Take responsibility for your mistakes.
Yeah, we're not perfect. That was a for sure big mistake on my part.
No, we're not. Absolutely not.
Man.
You guys want to hear another fun one?
Yes.
Yes, keep them coming, please.
So this is a shorter one. This happened, again, it's all this weekend during the con weekend. Like, none of it has to do with the con. So I get a call, and this guy's like, yeah, can I speak with the manager? And I was like, that's actually me. How can I help you? And he's like, okay. I'm calling you because the person I was rooming with, I guarantee is not going to call, and I don't think it's right. I was like, okay, you've piqued my interest. Go on.
Tell me more.
But they didn't say that. I was like, oh, okay, what's going on? And he's like, so I stayed with this person for a couple days. We were just rooming together. I was like, we're in separate beds. And he's like, on the last day, I was packing up and her suitcase was right there. And I saw something crawl across. And he's like, I looked closely at it. It was for sure a bed bug. He said 100% for sure a bed bug.
In the roommates things?
On the roommate's suitcase.
So like they could have brought it with them.
So he looks at the girl and he's like, hey, I'm 100% sure I saw a bed bug. And he said when he told her that, she was not fazed whatsoever. She's like, oh, no big deal. And he was like, did you know it was there? And she's like, oh, I mean, it might have been. I don't really know. And she was kind of like acting shifty and suspicious. And he's like, well, are you going to tell the hotel? She's like, no, I don't think it's necessary. He's like, I didn't really know what to do. And he's like, so we checked out and he's like, I just don't think it's right. He's like, I think she brought the bed bugs. He's like, I'm 100% sure she brought the bed bugs because she didn't seem to be fazed. She didn't seem to care. And I kind of like called her out on it and she was just like getting defensive. And he just kept going on. He's like, I just think it's so messed up. I think it's so wrong. And
but like, okay, bro, let me get off the phone so I can deal with this.
But he kept wanting to like talk about it. It was the weirdest thing. And I was like, okay, well, thank you so much for your attention. I will absolutely get that room inspected. So I get off the phone with him. I immediately put the room out of order and I send an email to the housekeeping manager and the engineering manager, to which they promptly go up to the room and they indeed find cookies.
What does that
Instead
mean?
of saying bed bugs. Like,
It's a code word
yeah, so like
to not say it in front of guests.
just in general, you don't want to say
It's a
it.
very taboo.
Yeah,
You don't
it's,
say
it's
it.
like screaming the F word at bingo night.
Like in any,
Yeah.
apartments and hotels?
Definitely in hotels, you don't say that word.
No.
And the team did assess that one of the beds definitely had spots, blood spots all over the sheets. The other one didn't. So she had for sure brought it in. It had just been introduced because it hadn't yet infested the other bed.
Right. I mean, if you had not gotten that phone call.
We wouldn't have known.
Well, no, I mean your room attendants are trained on
Oh,
what
that's
to look
true.
for, but
They would have spotted that.
Oh,
because there was blood on the
would've-
sheets.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was like, what? I've never had someone knowingly bring bed bugs. And so I called my director of accounting and I told her what happened. I was like, do I charge this guest? She's like, I've never had this happen before. Yeah, we should charge them.
But like, how much?
I said that, and she's like, let's charge them $250. She kind of like,
That's not even going to cover the treatment charge for the room.
the ball was in her court. Like, I'll put whatever
that's
charge
fair.
you want me to put. I'm like, I don't know how much you guys pay for your past treatments. Like, so she's like, charge
would
them
that
$250.
cover like sheets and a mattress?
No, so
100% not.
no, $250.
I don't know.
That's not even the price of a mattress.
Educate us
Well,
here in the
Depends on the
TSI
kind of
studio.
mattress.
a queen mattress, you're looking anywhere from $450 to $800.
Okay.
And it was a 2-queen room.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't charge them for bedding unless the blood
No,
didn't.
probably not.
If the blood didn't wash out, I wouldn't charge them. No, I'm sorry. Wait. If the blood washed out, I wouldn't charge them.
Yes.
Because all of that is going to get laundered. So you've got bleach, you've got high temperature water, and then it's going to go into a high temperature dryer. That will kill everything.
Right.
Bed bugs have a very low tolerance for heat. Forgive me, I can't recall exactly. I want to say it's 118 degrees or 128 degrees is the threshold for them to be heat treat killed.
You got to do high heat.
I'm impressed with
it's
even
not,
that knowledge.
It's not that high of a heat. Your dryer will hit anywhere between 140 and 160.
Oh.
You know, you look at that threshold and it's
You'll hit
not
it.
that high. Yeah. So when pest treatment companies will come in, they'll bring in a heat tent. It's made out of the material that you get like bounce houses are. That real heavy, like vinylized.
Yeah, we love bounce houses here.
Yes.
Yes.
I forgot about it. Yeah. Bounce house PTSD.
Yep.
So it's made out of that kind of material. They put a heater unit with it and a blower. And it's just a gigantic bag. The bag's usually big enough that you can get a couple of mattresses, box springs, other furniture, or like a sofa and mixed furniture, that kind of stuff into it. So when the pest companies come in, they'll set that up in the room. Everything gets put into that. It gets cooked, and that kills everything. And the beauty of it is that there's no pesticides, there's no residues, anything of that nature. Now, if it's a fresh introduction, then that would stop there. If it was an infestation,
we still put out of order the rooms side by side, up and down.
absolutely. But as far as the treatment goes, because it was same day, you don't have to worry about the transfer of pests at that point.
This is gross.
Super.
How many days were they there?
2.
Yeah, so
3 days, 2 nights.
transmission from one room to another is probably next to nil, but that entire room is going to need to be heat treated.
Yeah.
Last time I had a room heat treated, it was like $1,500.
Oh.
So dinging them $250 like a smoking fee, that's a fraction of what they should have been charged, truthfully.
Oh. Well, we don't have proof.
But do you also take into account like this guest was honest and like called and told
this-
the hotel?
Well,
this guy didn't. He said the girl he was with.
Well, yeah, but same room. So like,
Yeah.
Personally, I would go after a damage charge and deal with the potential for dispute.
right.
See, that's what I was like. They can dispute this because
Well, I
we
wonder-
don't have proof. We have
Whose
proof.
name was on the reservation? Was it his or
The
was
chick.
it? Was it? Oh,
The
well,
check. His was
helps.
just added.
I would risk going after the damages and having to refute a dispute.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I mean, we're not talking like small amounts of money. $1,500 to treat the room is significant.
Yeah.
Fork. Yeah. Keep in mind, none of us had dealt with this before, so we weren't sure how to go about it.
You've
We're like,
never dealt with bud, but
Yes, but not someone we have, but not someone willingly introducing it.
right. All right. One more
se.
thought.
One more thought.
We have time for one more thought.
Well, Ms. B threw out a little quip about Ms. Boss B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boss.
I want to give a shout out to another podcast.
Ooh, I want to hear.
Oh.
So, Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast
Oh, this was so good.
highlighted our podcast.
Yes.
I loved it.
And part of the episode for them was talking about each of us.
Yes.
And they kind of reassigned some names because Bill has to be short for Billiam.
That's what I say. I
know.
literally call you Billiam all the time.
I know. So he was on the money there.
Yeah.
Liz has
Short
to
for
stand for
lizard.
lizard,
100%.
I'll take it.
100%.
I will absolutely take that name.
which he didn't know that that's actually your name.
It is.
How he's a genius.
I know.
He found me out.
I mean, he tangented off a little bit, thinking that it was probably short for Elizabeth, but he was
It's
on the
not.
money.
It's lizard.
I know.
100%.
Spot on. It's like they knew us.
They do.
But then they talked about Ms. B.
Ooh.
And they proved that they knew us because he said, obviously, Ms. B has to stand for Ms. Bad Bitch.
Hell
Yeah.
to the yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Boss.
Ms. Boss Bitch.
Boss bitch.
I wasn't going to correct you because either way it's true, but
You know what? Both ways work.
Yes.
So I thought it was really kind of fun. I firmly believe that with all of this, it's about collaboration, not competition.
Agreed.
So, it was a lot of fun to hear them talk about our show. They shared some stories about their own service industry experiences. So it was a really nice dovetail. It was fun to listen to. It was different. It was enjoyable. I'd be happy to work with them again in the future, but I just wanted to give both Michael and Jeremy a little shout out and say thank you for taking the time to listen to our show and talk about it.
Do you want to plug their podcast and the episode title that we're talking about?
Yeah, so their podcast is called Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast.
I love it.
I know, it's so funny.
Right?
And it is the Tales from the Service Industry episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what is it? The Tales from the Service Industry heist?
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate your collaboration on it, listening to us, and would love to work with you again in the future.
I mean,
yes.
Some behind the scenes. When Bill sent me and Ms. B the link, I was like, wait, what is this? Is someone actually stealing our podcast? I had no idea what I was getting into.
I was like, what?
And it took me until like 6 minutes into the episode to be like, oh, I totally get it. It is very funny. You guys should definitely take a listen.
Oh, I could not agree more.
So after all the gross stories, for all of those that stuck through to the end of the episode, thank you for listening.
Yes.
We appreciate your support. Liz, thanks for being here, as always.
Of course.
Ms. Boss B,
Thank you, guys.
couldn't do it without you.
It was great to be here. Tip your housekeepers. Extra.
Yeah, especially after that story. I want to tip your housekeepers just from hearing the story.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Oh, and that chief, man. Everyone deserves a good tip.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And on that note, we will see you again in 2 weeks.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
AvenuePodcast.net